Does a logo matter when it comes to CX? Yes, it does. And a recent incident shows exactly how much and why. So, Cracker Barrel, a restaurant chain established in 1969, has been well known for serving the southern US cuisine and store experience. They felt that it was a time for rebranding, and so they decided to change their logo. So, as a result of that, what happened is Uncle Herschel and the barrel he is leaning on, they disappeared from the logo and it was replaced with a text only logo. Cracker Barrel's loyal customers did not like this change at all and they were severely disappointed. And they took to social media to express their disappointment. And the backlash was not restricted to just the common public, but also to people in positions of power. Now, there wouldn't have been any major changes in Cracker Barrel's recipes and service, which is core to its dining experience. But even this change in its visual identity has seemed to have rubbed people the wrong way. Cracker Barrel has now apologized for making this change. They've also gone back to their old logo. So, what is your take on this?
So my take here is rebranding is rarely a success. Businesses who have nailed down a clear vision, a very good brand story and a strategy and a very important reason on why exactly the business right now needs a rebranding kind of nail the rebranding on their head. But here I am seeing what Cracker Barrel did to their brand rebranding or their identity is more of like a haircut. Just a change in logo or their visual identity just does not cut it when you don't know who you serve, who your core customers are. And also not just in a backlash or a wave in social media, we also saw a steep fall in their stock prices. The market was not really responding well. It could be because of the political pressure also, but there is also one thing that stood out. It's that one of the co-founders of Cracker Barrel who came out and who said that the heart of Cracker Barrel, it's its authenticity, and the reason why it was built was that it wanted to keep serving country food to country people, and the current leadership just does not understand it. So more like the C-suite is also going through an identity crisis of some sort. So to nail a rebrand, you have to get all your basics right, and it starts from understanding who your customers are.
And if the brand serves a wider base of audience, it really doesn't matter because people are more understanding, I guess. And in this case, Cracker Barrel's identity also seemed to be tied to the ethos and lifestyle of one particular community. So when a brand is tied up to a community's identity, I think it's valued a lot more.
I agree. Now that brings us to the next story. Enterprises currently are pouring billions of dollars into AI, but 95% of that Gen AI pilots are failing. That's the headline from MIT's new report, Gen AI Divide. Now, what this report states is that 95% of enterprises fail to integrate the AI models that they have built effectively into their organization and functions. And they also saw that the real reason is not the tech. AI works, but the MIT kind of found that there is a gap in learning. Businesses are not able to integrate and find flows and pain points where AI actually fits in. On the other hand, we have startups going from $0 to $20 million in revenue in a year because they're able to narrow down and find out that one pain point where AI fits in perfectly. And they also have a new data in that report that says 2/3 of purchased specialized AI model for, let's just say, for a business use case performs really well rather than that 1/3 win of an in-house AI build. So here is the takeaway. If you want to win the AI race, you have to find out one pain point and solve it very effectively. And looks like the startups and the small businesses have it right. And I think it's a matter of finding out where exactly you need to fit in your AI automation in.
And even in terms of the AI models themselves, I don't think we have a one-size-fits-all kind of solution yet. So businesses have to be a lot more focused and prudent with regard to their efforts of using what AI tool for what purpose. Otherwise, they are not going to make any returns from their investments.
Also, I wanted to highlight this one thing from that report also, when is that currently businesses seem to be investing a lot more in sales and marketing for that fast win. And the biggest ROI currently is in back office operations streaming. So you can focus on cutting down your outsourcing, making your agents not outsourcing or paying to your agency and streamlining your operations. So that's something enterprises or big businesses can look into.
Absolutely. Nostalgia is old, but old is always gold. This is exactly what McDonald's has demonstrated recently. they've brought back their McDonald's land campaign, which has not been seen for the over the past 20 years. And this time they're doing it bigger and better because they've used AR and VR into the campaign, and they were also taking it to music festivals and sporting events. Why this now? I think McDonald's has realized the value of nostalgia in people's minds and is trying to tap into its potential. So you can just look at the comment section of their YouTube ad, and it's just filled with people sharing their joy of seeing characters from their childhood come back from the past. So it's made them so very happy, and it also makes sense because right now it's very difficult to make people open up their purse strings in tough economic conditions. McDonald's has got it right here because they felt that they can rekindle happy memories from the past so that they can make people spend in the present.
I agree. I think this is in line with the phenomena that's actually going around the internet, and it's called treatonomics. So especially in the times of financial uncertainty like the one that we are in right now, people are choosing to spend in small and sometimes big indulgence that uplifts their emotion. That is why in the last 2 quarters of 2025, we saw fine dining actually being on the rise rather than QSRs like fast food chains. They were actually not performing really well because they were rather willing to spend on experiences. That's why, from lipsticks to labubus, we saw people craving that emotional upliftment and that feeling of nostalgia. And definitely this strategy might really boost the books of McDonald's, but we'll have to wait and watch.
So another thing is we have right now we'll have parents who keep telling their kids stories from their childhood, but this McDonald's land actually gives their children a way to actually show what they were experiencing and make them also part of those memories, right? So I think all these points tie together well. And I think even if a fraction of McDonald's loyal customer base goes back, it's going to be an uptick in their numbers.
Definitely. Now, that brings us to the last segment of this episode, which is the ad pick of the week. Now that we spoke a lot about nostalgia, we also want to give a shout out to a nostalgic ad from 1971 from McDonald's Land. Now, this ad inspired the current 2025 McDonald's Land. And if you compare both these ads, you would say how far we have come. But still, McDonald's seems to capture the soul of its offering in both the ads beautifully. We'll have it linked in the description below.
That concludes this episode of the weekly CX Catch Up, where we deliver late news with the latest insights. Until next time.